Hey Superchargers, Paula Wingate here. Right, in this video I'm going to teach you about the best mindset model I've ever come across. Now, I really love researching mindset. There's a couple of mindset models that we do have at Influential Minds, but this is one of our best we've ever got. In fact, it's a world-class mindset model. And once I go through it with you, you'll see how fabulous it is. Now, I wish I was taught this mindset model right back to when I was in school, when I was playing professional football, when I was through corporate, or when I was doing my mindset coaching. Not one person has shown me this, apart from two high-level gurus in business. Now, one of these high-level gurus in business is T. Harv Eker, the author of The Mind of a Secret Millionaire. Now, I've been inspired by him because his book changed my life, especially when I lost all that cash and learned how to regain it through a business owner without being an employee. Now, the best thing ever about this is it really showed me what mindset I am in everyday life. Also, if I'm being an ass, but also if I'm being a high performer or a low performer. Now, we talk about it, Influential Minds, the difference between a low performer and a high performer as an analogy to show you what a high performing business owner thinks like and what a low performer business owner thinks like and acts like. It's a great way for us to teach you the difference of a low performing business owner and how they act, how they think, what their habits are, and how they keep themselves accountable. The same thing for a high performer. And then it's your choice as to decide whether you want to still be a high performer or love to keep as a low performer or move from a low performer up to a high performer. It's entirely up to you, it's your choice how to run a business, but there's no right or wrong. It's just the way I've seen and experienced it that's given me this information. Now, I've worked with quite a lot of business owners, right from startup, right up to £1 million worth of turnover, million pounds worth of turnover. And this is the one thing that we've all got in common, is the mindset. Now, this little muscle here is valuable. It's worth up to 90% of your results. The only problem is this little muscle here may not be well looked after as much as your car. Now, your car goes for quite an MOT test, but when does this work out? When do you pay for this to be serviced? When do you pay for this to be sharpened up? And when do you pay for this to make sure it delivers the right results? Now, remember, no matter how you think in here, whether it's negative or high performing, your results will show. So in your life right now, are you happy with the results that are showing up right now, or are you not? Now, remember, you're a tree. You're not a tree. You can change things. You can change your roots under that tree. The best thing ever, though, is being aware of how your mindset is performing. Now, for this one, I'm going to show you the analogy through weight loss or weight gain, depending on how you see it. And I'm going to show you how I thought about my own weight journey. Now, I've obviously egged it up for this story, but if weight loss does not relate to you, then please think about a challenge that you've had in your life that you can imagine, look back at how you performed mindset-wise and what you would do different. Remember, though, the analogy of this. Whatever you do is never wrong. So there's no rights or no wrongs. It's how you can do things sharper. Okay? So the accountability ladder. Now, one thing that most things that our clients come and ask me for is, Paula, can you help hold me accountable? Now, I put that back on you. Why do you need me to help hold you accountable? Why can't you hold yourself accountable? Why can't you learn how to do that? Now, I've worked with quite a lot of high-performing business owners, and the one thing that strikes me is we've all been an employee at certain stages. We've all had a manager that we report into. We've all had something where we've had to justify our performance to. And at the end of the day, we've been taught that other people hold ourselves accountable. But imagine if you're one of the 1% of people in this world that knows how to keep themselves accountable. In fact, they don't need anybody in the world to hold themselves accountable. Every single day they have a grading system to show them how to keep themselves accountable. Where would you be? Where would your business be? How would you perform if you know how to do that? So I'm going to talk about my weight loss. Now, as a professional footballer, I was very out there, always training 5 times a week, very fit, very athletic, watch what I eat, because if I didn't, I'd be going on the weight problems that the football team had at the time. So if you didn't hit a certain weight every week, you would then potentially go on a diet or extra training. Now, I was always on that because of my stocky build. And I measured my performance through how I performed in the football match. However, once I finished football and once I stopped all my training, I realised that I gained a lot of weight. Now, when I went to the doctors, it wasn't because I gained a lot of weight, it's because I felt crap. And what the doctor found out is I had an underactive thyroid. Now, from that date of knowing I had an underactive thyroid, guess what I did? You've guessed it. I blamed my underactive thyroid for the weight gain I had. Now imagine this, I've done all this running, I've done my 5Ks, my 10Ks, my marathons, I've walked up loads and loads of hills, I've done all this, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I stop all that, I blame my underactive thyroid. Well, why didn't I blame the fact that I didn't go out training? Why didn't I blame the fact that actually I've had a party for the last 10 years? Nope. I took responsibility of blame and I blamed the underactive thyroid. Now, when I played the blame game and I got bored of the blame game, I went to the next level of performance. I went to full of excuses. So it's not my fault I can't get out there and exercise. I've had a bad leg for 6 months. It's not my fault I can't go out there and exercise. It's raining. It's not my fault I can't go out there and exercise because I am far too busy in my business. It's not my fault I can't go out there because my kids are wanting help. Can you hear all my excuses? It's not my fault someone gave me a cake and I've ate it. See, it's not my fault, guys, is it? Actually, is it my fault? Now, if you look back when I was a size 12, performing at a high level at football, I would never have thought of not going out training. I would never have thought of using my work as an excuse. I would never have thought of using my kids as an excuse. I would never have thought I would have used rain as an excuse after diving in all those puddles when I was a young footballer. Now, once I got bored of the excuses, I went to my next level of performance, and that was denial. So when I looked at myself in the mirror, I saw this big elephant. Now, when I see this big elephant in the mirror and I didn't like the results of what I see in that mirror, guess what? It becomes very emotional, painful. In fact, too painful. I wouldn't even look in the mirror. I would hide from a mirror or I hide from a Zoom call, video, etc. So I would just hide. Denial. It's too painful to deal with. I know I have to deal with it, but you know what? Just give me a bit of that other cake. Give me that other KFC. Give me that McDonald's. Give me that other beer. And I think you can relate to this. Now, when I got bored of that level of performance, I went to the next level. And that's wait and hope. I've tried the blame. I've tried the excuses. I've tried the denial. Now I'm just waiting and hoping that God deletes the fat from my hips. Now, what's the chances of that? God deleting the fat from my hips? Probably zero, unless I get my ass into gear and go out there and train. So my next level of performance is something I had to really look at. Now, if I was going to change my weight, if I was going to change the way I thought about my weight, I had to really think about what type of performer I am. When I look at these activities of how I demonstrate my mindset, it was as a low performer. And if you can just see that here, right in the right hand side, I was acting like life's victim. I was acting as a low performer. I wasn't doing certain things that I used to do when I played professional football. And we're going to tap into that in a second. Now, is there anywhere in this ladder that demonstrates that's where you are right now with a certain project, a certain challenge in your life, a certain way you behave? Is there anything on that ladder that you would say, I am definitely there? Now, if there is, don't worry, it's fine. We'll show you how to do it. But I just want you to get to identify or become aware where you are in the performance ladder. Now, talk about weight gain. I want to change this. So what got me here won't get me there. So what's got me to a weight gain won't get me to my weight loss if I kept on repeating it. So I had to think back when I was a professional footballer and a size 12, athletic, fit as a fiddle, did the most things that I could. I thought, what habits did I have, or what mindset did I have, or how did I keep myself accountable to deliver the best performance on the park? And this is the one thing I did. I took ownership. I took ownership of my weights. So every weekend, I used to be scared about being, well, scared, that's one thing, but I used to be so focused on my weight so that when it got to the Sunday or the Saturday I played, I was at my peak. So when it came to the fact that I felt a bit heavy, I was a bit scared of coming across on the pictures heavy, I would take action that would make sure that I was fit as a fiddle on that Sunday. Now, I never used to drink when I played football. Isn't it a coincidence that when I started drinking, I put weight on? So I had to take ownership. Drinking, weight on. Drinking, not drinking, weight off. It is my choice. Now, that's something that I tend to not do now, much of it. However, the next thing on this is accountability. I needed to learn how to hold myself accountable. Now, one of the best things of holding yourself accountable is this: tracking your results. So when I'm doing a weight loss, I'm tracking everything I eat, everything I deliver in exercise, how many calories I lose, or how much fat I lose, or how I measure in my dress, etc. So I use accountability to be able to see my level of performance. I might write a graph, I might do a tracker. However I see it, I want to see it logically. I want to see logically how good I am on there. Now, my next level of performance is this: responsibility. I want to take responsibility for my performance. Now, if I don't have enough sleep, that's my fault. It's not the fact that it rains. If I don't have the best nutrition, that's my fault, not the fact that it rains. I want to make sure that I go out exercising. If I don't, that's my fault, not because I do then no exercise in the rain. Get my drift? So I take responsibility. So if there's anything that I don't deliver, I will hold my hands up and admit it's my fault. I could have done something entirely different to get a better result. I will take ownership of that situation. Now, ownership means you own your own ship, right? So own it. Be the captain of your life. Be the captain of your business. Own it. Don't blame it. Okay? So when I hear all this stuff, oh, I couldn't do A, B, and C, I couldn't do my homework because I was far too busy in my business. Own it, guys. Own it. Now, the one level of accountability I really want you to think about, and this is for people that go, oh, I want something perfect. I want to deliver something, the most amazing thing. Now, just friggin' do it. Just friggin' do it, guys. Now, think of Nike. Just do it. So I don't get done for copyright. I took ownership of it and I've just put just frigging do it, guys. So if you just actually go and do it without this engaging, just go out there and do it. See what you can become. Just take ownership. Where would your business be? What responsibility would you have? What accountability would you be holding? Now, when people think like this, they become high performers. So if you see anybody that is going through it, I've seen business owners, and I think you might have heard my rant recently. I've heard business owners going, I've been far too busy, I can't deliver that. Just own it. Your fault for not organising or planning your diary. Be upfront. When I deal with high performers, they'll go, Paula, I've totally cocked up. I've not planned it in my diary. It's totally gone out of my head. My fault. Not my diary's fault. My fault. Okay? Now, the difference between owning it or blaming it, that's up to you to discover. But to put this into practice, this is what I would do on a daily basis. I score myself out of 10 on each bit. So just say I'll go to myself today, how good have I performed today? I'll be thinking, how often have I been in blame? So out of 10, being blamed most, 1 being less, I will score myself on how often I was in blame. How often was I giving out excuses? How often was I being in denial? How often was I waiting, hoping? And I would do the same for ownership, accountability, and responsibility. Okay. Now, your choice. Do you want to stay in bed? Or do you want to take ownership and be in awe? It's entirely up to you. Your choice, guys. All right. Have fun. See you later. Take care. Bye.